Good afternoon, good morning everybody. It's Super Bowl Sunday, and what I'm trying to do here is do a Sunday live whenever I can. I've got plenty of time now because I'm not working, the farm isn't open, but I am going to try and do lives on Sunday, every Sunday when I get back as well. Might be a little difficult, not sure about the times, but I will attempt it because you know how busy we are, especially on Sunday. Saturday, Sunday, very busy time for us. So I hope everybody enjoys the Super Bowl. I haven't chosen my team yet because both teams are freaking awesome. I generally like the underdog, but I just want to see some good football. Whoever delivers the best football is really the team I want to watch. I want to win. I'm a New York fan, I come from New York. New York's pretty disappointing year after year, but if we get some good football today, I'll be happy about that. And I'm lucky because it's actually broadcast down here on one of the local channels. So all the commentating will be in Spanish, but doesn't matter, it's all good. So anyway, listen, I want to talk to you about a bunch of stuff that's going on here at the farm. First thing, it's actually not going on at the farm, but there is a business. There's a little restaurant cafe in Iceland, and it's called. Oh, thank you, Mark. And it's called Yankee Doodle Dandy. It's tough being in business in East Islip myself for 18 years now. It's tough here. You need deep pockets to stick around. Some places you got to be in business 2 or 3 years before people even know you're there. Listen, I've had people come to me, and I do a lot of advertising in all over the internet. I have a Google page, Facebook page, 3 Facebook pages, 1 Instagram, 1 Snapchat, WhatsApp. Whatever media is applicable to this. I even have I have Twitter, I have X. Whatever's applicable to the farm, that'll get the word out about the farm, I will join if it works for me. I'm on TikTok too. Haven't started using it because TikTok is very global. I haven't figured out how to do all local, but I'll figure it out, and we'll be using that too soon. So my point is, even though I advertise so much, and I'm in so many different social medias, as well as a print ad every week for 4 or 5 years now, since COVID, for that local newspaper, South Bay Neighborhood News. I've been in there since COVID. So all of these advertising that I do, I still get people that come to the farm that live right in East Islip or Great River, and they say, I've lived here for 25 years, I never knew you were here. That's how tough it is in East Islip and Islip in the general area for businesses to be seen. So this business, which has really nice food, good food, it's called Yankee Doodle Dandy, and it's a restaurant right in Islip Village. It's all red, white, and blue, really cool place. They were struggling. If you can give them some business, that would be awesome. When I get back, I plan to visit them as often as I can. We need to support each other in East Islip, in the Islips. You got to support local businesses because these local businesses employ your kids, employ us, keep these businesses afloat if we can. So I do try to support every local business I can, provided that they have a good product. Listen, if they have a bad product, I don't care if you live next door to me, I'm not going to support you. You got to have a great product. So, that being said, the food is pretty good down there. If you want to give the guys support, especially a day like today, order some wings for Super Bowl Sunday. And they are extremely appreciative just to have enough business to stay alive. And I hope that they're doing better because I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. Did a few posts. Hopefully they're doing well. I'm not in New York right now, but I'm hoping that they're going to do well. So it's called Yankee Doodle Dandy. It's got all red, white, and blue colors. Pretty cool looking place. It's just at the west end of Islip Village. Of Islip Village, yes. So check it out if you can. And give them a little bit of support. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you a little bit more. Speaking of that, I want to talk to you today a little bit more about the meat program. Now, most of you know who have been ordering meat and poultry. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? I see you all. Hope you're having a great day today. Good luck on whoever you like on the Super Bowl. It's a hell of a day back there. Now here, all I'm going to see is the Super Bowl. Now I know it's on TV all day long down there, and all these analytics and all kinds of things going on, big festivals, big parties. I haven't even gotten into a football pool. They don't have them here, so I'm still going to enjoy the game. I hope whoever you like wins. Anyway, back to my meat and poultry program. Just to reiterate, now the folks that have been ordering on a regular basis, they know exactly what is going on, what kind of quality I have. Now, all the beef products are grass-fed and grass-finished. They're all from small, sustainable farms that raise their animals properly, as in the feeding of them, and humanely. Now, you want to hear something funny? I grew up 2 blocks from a 52-acre pasture. And when I got into my teens, and I knew everything about everything, right? Any of you have teens? Teenage kids? Yeah, we know everything about everything. I used to say to myself, this farmer is an idiot. He's got 52 acres of land here, of cow pasture. And he's only got 50 cows. What's wrong with this guy? I'd put 1 million cows in here. Well, nobody told him, and nobody made it a requirement. The man did it on his own. The man knew that if he gave 1 acre per cow, that cow would live an extremely happy life without stress, and his product would be better. Now, in these beef factories, these cattle factories, they're all jammed together. If you look up the USDA requirements for an animal to be humanely raised, if the animal has enough room to spin around comfortably, that's acceptable to the USDA. That's not acceptable to me, and it wasn't acceptable to that farmer who understood that the better you treat your animal, the better it's going to taste, the better the product is going to be. So these practices are used at the farms that I purchase the meat, poultry, fish, everything from. So what you're getting when you get involved in the meat program that I have is top quality, fresh products. It all gets delivered once a week, and it comes in fresh. Not a box of frozen stuff. It is fresh. Not previously frozen. It is fresh. Sometimes I'll have to freeze it. If I order a bunch of stuff and I don't sell it all, I may have to freeze it just in order to preserve it. But all of this stuff comes in fresh. It's going to last you the same amount of time as your supermarket items. Well, maybe a little bit less. There's no dye in the meats. So you leave the meat out on the counter and the sun beats down on it, that red is going to turn brown. So you got to cover it. That's the reason that many years ago butchers and delis used deli paper to wrap the meat so the sunlight couldn't get into them. And then it's just been continued through time. But anyway, what you will be getting when you're involved in the meat, poultry, pork, and fish program is humanely raised animals, an animal dieted correctly, and same with the fish. Now I'm going to explain about the fish. We get Norwegian salmon, and it's going to be top quality, always top quality. You may have to pay a little bit more. Not may, you will. We are definitely higher priced than the crap at the supermarket. But when you taste it, you'll see. And There's nothing added into this meat, no vaccinations, none of that nonsense. Because all of this stuff comes from small, sustainable farms. Now, before I get into the fish, I want to explain to you the beauty of the farms that I buy a lot of this meat from. And I use distributors, but I select some of the farms that we use, that they use. I can say I don't want it from here. I'm going to order it from this farm because I prefer it. The farms that I prefer, well, let's take the meat for example. It'll be grass-fed, grass-finished its entire life, humanely raised. Okay, that's a given for all the beef products. Then the farm slaughters the animal right on premises, packages the meat, and sends it out. Now your supermarket meat this is the method. So the farmer, the rancher, sells the cattle to a giant conglomerate company. This company brings all the cattle to a depot where for 18 months this grass-fed beef is now fattened up with corn and soy and an antibiotic slop. Now I've been to a place called Grand Junction, Colorado, where you can smell the cow poop from about 100 miles out. There are thousands of cattle in this depot. Grand Junction, Colorado, right on the Nebraska-Colorado border. And that's where they're fattening them up. It's like a giant parking lot. And they're horrible conditions because they're all jammed together. Now once that happens, 18 months go by, then they're shipped out to the slaughterhouse. From the slaughterhouse, they are then shipped to the meat packing plant. After the meat packing plant, they're sent to the distributor. And after the distributor, they go to the supermarket, and then they go to you. So I don't know how many steps that is, 7? I didn't even count it. Farmer, conglomerate, meat, slaughterhouse, meat packing plant, distributor, and you. So it's a process of 5. The meat you're going to get with me. And oftentimes it's frozen. And oftentimes when you buy from these box places that deliver, you don't know where the stuff's coming from. You don't know how they were raised. You just know that they're grass-fed, grass-finished. In the United States, if you feed a cow grain, corn, and soy his entire life, but then give him a little grass at some point, you can say that he's grass-fed. You can't say he's 100% grass-fed. You can't say he's grass-fed, grass-finished, but you can say he's grass-fed. So you got to be careful about that. Everything that you get from me in the beef area will be 100% grass-fed. Grass-fed, grass-finished, entire life. So that's the big difference. We don't deal with the kind of supply chain that you deal with. And what does the supply chain do? It enables the beef. It gives it a better chance of being contaminated along the way. Whereas when the farm raises the animal, slaughters it, packs the meat, and sends it out, the chances of contamination, sickness, Ebola, all that stuff are reduced a lot. So it's actually a more sanitary product. So not only are you getting a high quality, grass-fed, grass-finished, raised product, but you're also getting a more sanitary product. So this is the kind of thing you're going to get from me. And it's fresh, unless I have to freeze it. So that's the kind of thing you're going to get from us. I've met with some of the farmers. I met with the farmer who raises the pork, the Berkshire pork, in, where was that? The Ozark Mountains. He came up to New York a couple of years ago and he was explaining all kinds of stuff. I also met a quail farmer. And this quail farmer, this was 10 years ago, this quail farmer was abreast of the bird flu coming across the United States. And he had taken some steps to make sure that they were not, that these animals, that these quail were not just free range. He kept them free range, but then he had to make this giant fence and a roof so that they still were raised humanely and they had a good life, but they were contained. And the containment was just so that they didn't exchange with other birds that may have carried the flu virus, with the wild birds. So he was very interesting. All these farmers are interesting because they're on the cutting edge of farming. They're trying to do exactly what I'm trying to do, is make people's lives better by giving them quality food and education. So, that being said, now I want to explain to you about the fish. Now, we get salmon from, and right now we just carry salmon and cod and shrimp. The shrimp is wild caught from the Gulf of Mexico. It's white shrimp, and it's already deveined with the tail on, head off. So it's pretty easy. You just peel it off the skin, that layer. You know how to do it. You've seen it before. Peel and eat shrimp, I'm sure you've had it one time or another. And that's the way that comes, and it does come frozen. That's just the way shrimp goes at this point in time. But it is still wild caught Gulf of Mexico. So that's as clean as it possibly can be. It's not farmed in that sense. Now, the cod and the salmon, talk about the salmon. We get the salmon from Norway, and we get it from Argentina, from the waters in the South Atlantic, waters in the North Atlantic. Now, it's farmed, but not the way you think. Now, you take a look at tilapia. Tilapia, wherever it's grown, China, Indonesia, they take a bulldozer, they dig out a big hole, fill it in with water, and spawn the tilapia, and there's millions of tilapia in this hole, and it's filthy. I will not eat tilapia. I will eat tilapia down here, because it's wild caught. It is actually a wild fish at some point. But the fish that you're getting in the supermarket is usually, look at this bird right here, hey bud. Nope, he's gone. This bird with a super yellow breast comes to this window every day. And it's not like there's any food in here, but she just likes to, there she is, okay. It's not like there's any food in here, she just likes to pop in. I guess she's curious. Anyway, so the salmon now is farmed, but not in the sense of farming that you're used to hearing like the tilapia is. What happens is the fish are actually contained in these giant, humongous pods, and the fish are getting their own. They're getting the current. They're catching their own food, but they are in these giant containment pods. So they're as close as you possibly could be to wild caught. Now, there's a couple of advantages to that. First of all, you don't have to fish with a net and catch anything and end up killing a lot of other fish in the process of catching this salmon, which happens a lot when these fishing boats throw their nets out. Now, we have a couple of fishing boats over here that I've been watching. I wanted to take a video of it the other day, and I will again on my WhatsApp. And it's cool because you got 7 fishermen. They go out in the boat, they throw the net over, they start bringing the net towards the shore, and then they all get on the beach and they start pulling the net. And there's one guy in between where the net is, and he's throwing the fish that they don't want back into the water. So it's really cool the way they do it on a really small level. And they pretty much supply a lot of the places around here with the fish. And these fishermen are busy. And they got these old, beat-up boats, but they're living a real nice life. And they're catching some beautiful fresh fish. Down here in Colombia, where I am, I'm in Santa Marta, but the entire country is so focused on the environment and saving the environment, not running water too long, not putting toilet paper, not putting paper in the toilet, just being very conservative when it comes to the land. One day each month, they close the beach, and what they say is they want to give nature a chance to take the beach back for that day. Pretty cool stuff down here. So they're very into the environment. And they're not a big country. Colombia is the size of Texas and California put together. So they're a big enough country, but they just do things so well here. It's just everything is done so well. Listen, they got their bad sides too. People, the taxi drivers think that a 2-lane highway is really a 3-lane highway. So the driving's a little nutty. And there are other things too, but nothing really mentioned. But anyway, that's the whole thing with the meat and poultry program and fish program. So what you're going to be getting is, and by the way, when I get the Norwegian salmon or the Argentinian salmon, both from the Atlantic, or the cod, it all comes fresh. And it's amazing. It tastes so good. Not previously frozen, it comes fresh. The only time it's going to be frozen is when I have to buy 20 or 30 pounds of it, and I only have orders for 20 pounds. So I'll have some left over, I'll put them into the freezer, and then I'll resell that as frozen. So if you don't mind that, that's okay. But I always prefer fresh. And what I tell a lot of people when they come to the farm is, listen, don't order 20 pounds of chicken breast or 10 pounds of chicken breast and then freeze it. If you live close enough to me where you could come once a week, take advantage of the fact that you can get it fresh every week. Fresh always tastes better, in my opinion. All right, so that's the meat and poultry program, which we will be starting the week of March 3rd, starting up again. And this is our 10th or 11th year of the meat and poultry program. We'll be starting that up again. And it's always a great program. If you want to get involved in the meat and poultry program, I don't have any menus in my phone now. The menu is on the wall in the farm stand, and will not be down there till the 1st. Till March 1st, I'll be back. So I won't be able to send you a menu, but I will be able to in March. But it is a pretty diverse menu. There's a lot of variety on it. Excuse me. Okay, so CSA program I wanted to speak to you about. Of course, our CSA program is always very close to full because the people I have every year re-sign up right away. I even save spots for folks that are going to sign up again. And the whole thing with the CSA program is, what they tell me is I give more than everybody else each week. I've never seen any other CSA programs of any other farms, so I don't know. I just have my own view of what I want you to have. I want a family of 4 to have ample food. And I create every single box, every box that comes out, I put together, because I want to make sure that everything you have is the best quality I can give you. I don't want to leave that to an employee who might be in a rush and say, well, let me give you this cauliflower instead of this one, or you understand. I'm in control of all the boxes. So if you have a problem with a box, I'm the guy to talk to. Simple as that. And it's a very big box every week starting from May until October. It ends the first week of October, because that's when we begin to start running out of food. But it could begin the first week of May, it could begin the first week of June. It all depends on the weather. Now, a few years back, we started the first week of May. But last year, we started the first week of June. It was Memorial Day we started. So, it all depends on the weather. If we have a cool March and a cool April, then it's going to push us back. But as soon as we're ready to be able to fill up those 100 boxes, then we'll be able to do that. And the nice thing about my CSA program is you pick the day and time when you want to come. You know, some CSAs is like only on Sunday between 10 and 2. And if you get there closer to 2, your box has been traded on from, people that didn't like some of the stuff. Horrible situation. But with me, you pick the day and pick the time of when you want your box, and that'll be your time for the season. So for example, Sunday, 3 o'clock, I'll put that together 15, 20 minutes before you arrive, and the box will be ready for you to pick up. If you're in a rush, it's already ready, just pick it up and go. And it's all produce that we grow on the farm. It's all fresh picked organic produce we grow on the farm, and some that I source from other organic farms. I can't possibly supply every single let me rephrase that. I can't possibly grow every single thing that's out there that folks want. I grow a lot of the popular things like tomatoes, eggplant, peppers, cucumbers, watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew, basil, squash, pumpkins, kale, collard greens, lettuce, all that kind of stuff. Cabbage, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, mulberries, figs. I bring in apples. We have organic apples almost every single week, sourced out from other farms. Sometimes they come from Washington, sometimes from Oregon, and depending on the time of year, they could come from upstate New York or more local areas. But we always have apples. You've had my watermelon before. These are the seeds right here. I've started to collect them now. Best watermelon I've ever had in my life was from down here in Colombia, in Santa Marta, Colombia. So every year I save the seeds, and that's what we're eating. We are eating watermelon with seeds from Santa Marta, Colombia, because the watermelon can still grow up in New York, same watermelon. But it's so superior, I like that. And you folks had the watermelon last year, the year before, and the year before that. You know how good it is. So that's where the seeds come from. So I'm not trying to get off the track. But anyway, that's the CSA program. You're never going to get anything that you don't want. You don't like cucumbers, I'm not going to put them in your box, which is the beauty of me putting every box together, because I know what each customer wants. I make notes of everything that you like and you don't like, so that your box is yours with specifically the things that you like. Now, I'm not going to give you a box full of tomatoes in September so that you can make sauce. I'm going to give you an ample amount of tomatoes, because I'm going to realize that in September you want to make sauce. So I'll give you quite a few, but it won't be the entire box. So we don't do it that way. We don't really customize it. It's everything that's on the farm stand you're going to get a little bit of, but I will always keep in mind, put it to you this way, your best interest is my best interest. If I don't give you the stuff you want, you're never coming back. So what's the point? Right? Okay, so that's the CSA program. It is $700 for the season. I prefer to be paid in cash if you can. But we can work out that type of payment. But it is a one-time payment. I don't like to put it into a payment program unless we have to. But the entire thing has got to be paid before pickups begin, which is in May. Okay, now I only do 100 members, which we have a lot of them full right now from our previous members that have been with me for 5, 6, 7 years. I'll tell you what, the only complaints I've really had about the boxes, sometimes with some of the elderly couples, is that it's too much food and they have to give it away. That's a good complaint. Give some to your niece or nephew who doesn't eat organically that should start. So that's a good complaint. And that's the CSA program. Now I wanted to take just a couple of minutes to recap the events that we have going on. And you know that the events, we have the beekeeping, the honeybee classes every last Sunday of the month from April until August. Then we have the herbal healing walk, which are 3 times per season, April, June, and I believe September. And that's the herbal healing walk, which is awesome. That's an awesome class. And you can go to the website, organicstodayfarms.com. If you don't remember that, just Farm East Islip. I'll come up. And you can go to my Google page, and at my Google page, which is Organics Today Farm, just press on website. It's going to show you everything. It's even going to show you a lot of the things that we grow. For example, San Marzano tomatoes. I grow the true San Marzano tomatoes. Let me take a second and talk about that. There was a tomato blight a couple years back for 3 or 4 years in Italy. So all of the San Marzano tomatoes the USDA was not permitting them to come into this country. Not just the tomatoes, but the seeds too. Okay, so the USDA can be good, can be bad. Not a lot of farmers are on the USDA anymore. They kind of changed the rules to satisfy big agriculture. But it's a good move to stop tomatoes, to stop products coming into this country that have been blighted. Now, the chances of seeds, blight transferring through seeds is minimal. But it's a good precaution because we don't want to wipe out the tomato industry here through contaminated tomatoes from Italy where this blight was taking place. So when the blight was coming, we couldn't get seeds from Italy. We couldn't get the real, true San Marzano seeds from the Naples area from Italy for 3 years. So what I did was for a year, I grew tomatoes just for seeds. I grew San Marzano tomatoes from the few seeds I had left, just for seeds. I didn't sell any, I just kept the seeds. And it worked out really well. Now I have an ample amount of seeds, thank goodness. So we're good. But my point is, when I buy seeds from Italy, there's a stamp on the seed package. See, the Italians stamp everything. Their wine has a little ribbon on it, little pink ribbon that says DOC or DOCG. What these stamps and ribbons and labels all mean is two things. One, that they guarantee quality control, complied by the rules, complied by the farmer to the rules and regulations of the Italian government. The Italian government does not screw around when it comes to exportation of food. That is their second biggest money maker in the country. First is tourism. Second is exportation of food. They can't afford to screw around with their food. So that's why they label everything. That's why they stamp it, label it, and put ribbons on it. So that you know that the origin is from Italy and that the farmers have complied with the rules and regulations of the Italian government. Simple as that. So, when I buy my seeds, there's a stamp on that seed package. And it is guaranteed that I'm getting San Marzano tomatoes from the Naples area, not from Turkey, not Super Marzanos hybrid from California. These are the real things. And I grow, there's only a few different varieties of San Marzano tomatoes, and I grow the Ridortas. Those are the larger ones. And they're freaking delicious, and they're amazing for sauce. Now, by the way, I'm down here in Colombia. This is where tomatoes were discovered. Cortez, I guess he was one of the conquistadors. They found these tomatoes growing wild at the base of the Andes Mountains. The Andes Mountains are a big chain of mountains down here. That's why the city of Medellin it's a mountain city. It's a city they started in the valley, but they kind of ran out of room, so they started building up into the mountains. When you go to Medellin, be prepared to walk up and down hills all day long because there's no flat land here, except down by the river, by their huge river. So, Cortez brought these tomatoes back to Spain, and then somehow the Italians got their hands on them, and nothing has been the same since. The Italians started growing them in the soil of Mount Vesuvius, which is right in the Naples area. And it just made them from delicious to even more delicious. These are the tomato seeds that I buy from that area, from the Strianese area. So, San Marzanos, they're the best for sauce, and they're awesome for salads too. If you have never had one, or if you've never used them for sauce, go to your local Italian pork store and ask for San Marzanos. Not Super Marzanos, not La Marzanos. They have to be San Marzanos with the stamp, with the DOP stamp on them. Look for DOP. And then you're guaranteed origin and quality control. So that's what you're getting from the products that I purchase. Okay, so I got kind of way off the side there. We're back to our events. So we have the gardening class, which are 4 gardening classes per season. And all those dates have been corrected from last year, and they're on the website now. So we have the 4 gardening classes, which if you want to have a successful garden, attend these 4 classes and I guarantee you will have a successful garden, because I'm going to give you all the information that you need. Okay, so gardening class, Kids Fun Farm Day, also on the website, which is a great day for kids. It's from 10 to 2, and I believe it's June 21st or June 22nd. We'd have to check the website. Let me take a look at my notes over here, see if I have that listed. I still do notes with pad and paper, with pencil and paper. Okay, gardening class. Gardening class is April 5th, Saturday, April 19th, Saturday, May 4th, Sunday, May 18th, Sunday. Now with the gardening classes, each time that we have a gardening class, at the end of the class you can purchase everything that you need for that time of the season. So in April, you can purchase the cool weather crops, your fertilizers, your organic fertilizers, your dirt, your soil, which is living soil, which I make myself on the farm. And you want living soil. The stuff you get at the big box stores is dead. There's nothing in there that's living. You need living soil. You need to throw that soil down. In a couple of days it spawned earthworms, because earthworms make more soil. They make more fertilizer, which is also part of the things that we discuss in these classes. So those are the dates for the gardening class. Each gardening class pertains to what you need to do in the garden at that period of time. Okay, and so that's that. And then we have the Herbal Healing Walk, which is, Herbal Healing Walk is those 3 Sundays at 10 a.m. It's the last Sunday of those months, which is April, June, and I believe September, 10:30 sharp, and it's always on a Sunday. And then we have the honeybee classes at noon every last Sunday of the month from April. Might even do one in March, depends on the weather, but definitely from April until August. Kids Fun Farm Day, that is June 21st. June 21st, and that's a Sunday. Kids Fun Farm Day. Pretty cool day. We have hay rides, how to make a worm farm, a short, little quick honeybee class. What do you call them? Sack races. A coloring time, a rest time, a break time, picture cutouts, and a bunch of other things that we have slipped in there that slipped my mind at the moment. But it's a hell of a day for mom and daughter, or dad and daughter. It's Parent and Child Day. And it's $20 or $25, don't remember right now, it's listed on the website, per person. Per couple. So it's, if it's one child and mom, it's $25. And it's well worth it, because it's the whole day. It's not the whole day, it's between 10 and 2 or 3. There's no rush as far as ending it. We end it when everything's finished. So it could be 2 o'clock, could be 3 o'clock. But it starts at 10 sharp. And we have a lot of picture cutouts. Stick your head in one of the banners we have there, and you're the face of the farmer or face of the cow or what have you. So it's a heck of a day. It's a lot of fun, especially ending up with the hay rides. That's a ton of fun, because the kids really love that. Last year the kids were saying, when do we get the hay ride? When do we get the hay? We're going to get it at the end. Take it easy. But yeah, it's a real fun and exciting day for kids. I don't think a child 14 or older would enjoy it, but 14 or younger will. And you never know, though. You never know. We did have some older kids. We had a 15 or 16-year-old boy last time. But it's a good time for everybody. And then don't forget now, we also do yoga at the farm, which I do have to speak to Dr. Melissa to shore up those dates, because that's her time. This is something that she does, and she's amazing. She's a certified yoga instructor, and she also has certification in mindfulness. So it's a nice, relaxed teaching session too for kids. Got to teach kids to relax a little bit every now and then. Okay, so those are pretty much the dates and some of the events that we have going on. Of course, I'm sure you all remember in the month of October where we have the Moonlight Pumpkin Picking, super popular event. I don't have to tell you anything about that, but that's listed on the website too. And that's every Saturday night from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the month of October. That's a good time. Okay, what else we got? Okay, eggs. I'm hearing, go on Facebook, all I hear is eggs, 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 Trump. Eggs, eggs, Trump. So let's talk about eggs. Let's not talk politics. Now the eggs, I have a partnership with Carlo out east, and kind of a partnership. He supplies me with a lot of eggs. But as well as that goes, I also prefer to source my eggs from local backyard chicken growers, chicken raisers. These animals, let's say it's a backyard that has 5, 8 chickens, they treat their chickens like pets. The chickens are super happy, eating good, sanitary conditions, and they're laying some really good products, some beautiful eggs. Those are the folks I prefer to purchase from. So if you raise chickens in your backyard and you have excess eggs, I'll buy all of them. Just contact me and we'll get that started because you have the best eggs. And these are the eggs that I want to sell to my customers. I want nothing but top quality here. I have just asked you 2 things. Make sure you feed them organically, and I will give you organic chicken feed too when it's available. So make sure you feed them organically and don't wash them. Wipe them, but don't wash them because we want to be able to leave them out on the counter for up to 3 weeks. If you wash them, then they have to go right into the refrigerator. Every country on the planet, except for the United States, go in the supermarket down here in Colombia, Italy, Germany, France, the eggs are stacked up right on the floor, not in the refrigerator. It's right in the supermarket floor. And people don't buy dozens. Some of the tourist areas, yes, they have the nice dozen cleaned and washed and put in the refrigerator. And that's for the tourists. But for the locals, they're buying 30 at a time in a flat, and the eggs are delicious. I'm eating eggs every day here, and they're freaking delicious. As delicious as the eggs that I have over on the farm. So, that being said, there are a couple people that I purchase eggs from that are superior. For example, Andrew. Andrew has amazing eggs. He treats his chickens so well. They have a nice place to sleep, and they've got a full yard to roam in. And he does good stuff. He gives them all kinds of treats from time to time, all good stuff. I don't want to give you all his tricks and techniques, but he has a great product. And as often as I can buy from him, I do. And there are other folks that raise chickens in your backyard. I want those eggs too. So if you raise chickens in your backyard, shoot me a message. I'd be happy to work something out with you. And I do pick up too. When I do pick up, it's got to be for good quantity too. I don't want to just come and pick up 1 dozen. So for you folks that want me to pick up, if you could have 10 dozen at a time, that would be great. We sell anywhere from 90 to 100 dozen per week here because we've got good quality eggs. The colored eggs, we have always got a lot of the colored eggs from the Americana chicken. And for those that don't know, different varieties of chickens lay different colored eggs. The white eggs in the supermarket did not bleach to be white, as is rumored. That's just a different chicken that lays those eggs. So as far as your backyard chicken raisers go, shoot me a message. I'm happy to buy your eggs from you. Okay, now, that's not the only thing I source out. If you have a garden and you're growing organically, you have to grow organically, and you have an excess of stuff like cucumbers, tomatoes, what have you, I'll buy it from you. It's got to be organic though. what I need usually throughout the season a lot of is eggplant, because I don't grow a lot of eggplant, but because I don't have the room. But I'm happy to buy eggplant. I'm happy to buy large tomatoes, cherry tomatoes I don't really need. I'll buy your figs from you. I'll buy berries from you also. I'll buy a variety of different things. Just shoot me a text if you think that's something you want to be involved in, and let me know. Now, if you got a big piece of property, you want to grow pumpkins for me, sure, I'll buy pumpkins too. I'll buy pumpkins, watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew. I'll buy all that stuff as long as it's organic. Okay, so let me move on. This is getting pretty lengthy today, and I still have to go over to Instagram. Maybe I'll just insert this over to my Instagram page. Brings me to another another thing. Stop by my YouTube page, which is Organics Today. I got some pretty cool videos on there. Some educational videos and just some different phenomena that occur that I've had the luck and the opportunity to video. So that's Organics Today on YouTube. And you'll see my lives on YouTube also, because we just shoot them from here over to YouTube. Okay, volunteer program. I've spoken about that. I spoke about it last week, and we had quite a few people interested, and I'm super happy about that. It's a nice 6-hour per week program, very flexible. You can come any day you want, because we're open 7 days. Only thing is, it has to start at 9 o'clock in the morning. Unless it's a special thing that you're doing. Like if you're making bread for me for the season, that's a different situation. Excuse me. So if you want to get involved in the volunteer program, you can also go to the website, organicstodayfarms.com, and it'll show exactly more information about that, about the particulars of the volunteer program. But it's a great way. You're going to get paid food, organic food, fresh picked organic food that you actually grow or help grow, and that you help harvest. So everything that goes into it, you're going to be reaping the bounty. So it's a nice program. So if you want to be involved in that, I'll give you more information if you shoot me a text, or you can get more information from the website, organicstodayfarms.com. Okay, bakers. Every year I need bakers. My goal is to have as much variety of baked goods as possible, but I don't have enough bakers to do that. Now, you can be a home baker, which I really prefer because you're putting love into your product. Or you could be a commercial bakery. I will buy from you, from the home product or not. And I'll be happy to get cookies from you, banana bread, pumpkin bread, and pumpkin bread, and zucchini bread. We make those 3 breads when each of those are in season. So we start out with banana bread in the early spring, because nothing's really growing. As soon as zucchini's ready, we go to zucchini bread. As soon as pumpkins are ready, we go to pumpkin bread. So it is my recipe though, and it's an olive oil recipe. In my baked goods, when it comes to oil, any baked goods that I sell at the farm must be made with extra virgin olive oil. Or I shouldn't say extra virgin. Must be made with olive oil. I don't want seed oils, canola, vegetable oil. I don't want to use any of that stuff. I'm not giving that stuff to my customers. You're only going to get the quality products from me, and baked goods, the ingredient is olive oil. So if you're a home baker, you want to do some, we'll buy from you every week. I realize, it could be busy for you to do that each week. Some people may not have the time, but maybe they have time for a few weeks. We'll do that too. So banana bread, sourdough bread especially. I purchase sourdough bread right now from a company called Bread Alone. Phenomenal bakery. Let me tell you quickly about this guy. He's a hippie from Woodstock, and this is the story I heard about him, and I think it's pretty cool. Hippie from Woodstock opens a place in Woodstock and kills it. He does so well. He's got lines out the door. Within a few years, he opens 2 places in Manhattan, 1 place in Queens, and 1 place in Brooklyn, I think. doing so well, Whole Foods comes along and says, we love your bread. We want you in all our Whole Foods. He supplies Whole Foods for a bunch of years, and then Whole Foods gets bought by Amazon. And here's the story that I have heard from one of my distributors. Whole Foods gets bought by Amazon, and this hippie, Bread Alone, turns to Whole Foods and says, you just got bought by a company that puts small businesses out of businesses. I'm not selling my bread to you. And he pulls his product line out of all the Whole Foods. Pretty good guy. Giving up that kind of money? Now, if he wasn't doing so well in the city and in Woodstock, could he? That's a hypothetical. Who cares? The bottom line is, I think he did a good thing. I wish I was in that position. I am in that position. But it's a really great thing that he did. So that's the Bread Alone story. And he's got phenomenal bread. And he delivers to me every other day, which is fantastic. And we pretty much run out every other day. So you got to come a little bit early, come around 10, 11 o'clock to ensure that we won't be out of it. I see a bunch of people coming and going. Hello to everybody. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't really see who it is. But hi, and thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, so the next thing on the list is, oh yes, now another thing with the bakers. If you're just starting out and you're serious about being a baker and you want to get your product out there and you want to try and build a business, I can help build your brand. We have helped build brands for so many people. Remember Wally's Spotted Dog Dressing? He started at Organics Today Farm, and he's gone on he goes to farmers markets now, and he's got a nice product. He started at Organics Today Farm. Rustic Roots, you've heard of them. They're the delivery service of meat, poultry, and all kinds of stuff, produce. I'm not sure if they do meat and poultry, but they definitely do they do meat and poultry, but they definitely do produce, and produce is their big thing, and it's a delivery service. They started here at the farm. So a lot of people have started out here with their brand. Another woman who owns a sea salt company, I don't recall the name, that was about 13 years ago, she started here. And what she was doing was taking boats out east, getting 5-gallon pails of seawater, and then extracting the salt from it, letting them dry and taking the salt and selling that salt. She was amazing. I wish I could remember the name of her company and the name of her. But she got her start at Organics Today Farm just from doing cooking demos or doing a demo in general. So if you have a cause or a recipe or a product that you want, or a business that you want to showcase, we'll do a cooking demo for you, or some kind of demo for you. We do that on Sundays, so come on down and do it. Get your brand out there. We'll help you build your brand, if we can. We have quite a large customer base here, and our whole intention is to help people's lives become a little bit better with clean food and education. So come down and educate you people about your product, educate our folks about your product, and let's get your brand going. I'm happy to help you build your brand. Okay, and that, folks, is about it. Enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. I know this was a long live, sorry about that. Enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. I hope the team you pick wins, and we will see you. I will try to go live again next week. Any questions about anything, guys, just shoot me a text. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.